Thanks, everybody. So this is a little backwards. So normally Jake would be sharing kind of, the fun information and stats about Tour de Livingston as our final information. And I would then be sharing how all that hard work and all those funds went back out into our community. So I get to start and then he'll jump in after. Hold on a sec. It doesn't want to let me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if you're new to United Way, which I'll be surprised because both Jeff Blagg and Liz are actively involved. In fact, Jeff Blagg is our new board president. But if you don't know what we do, basically the money that you guys donate as part of Tour de Livingston or in any other way, this year you guys also donated quite a bit to our COVID fund. Those funds come into the agency and then goes back out through grants. And that's what Liz actually does, which the panels oversee, and they talk about where the funds should go. And we have two different areas that we usually focus on. One is coalition work, which is groups working together towards a countywide solution. And the other one is programs. And those are the things that are more specific to one identified need. They might not have an easy way to collaborate with others, though I would say in the last couple of years, we've seen some new collaborations coming together. So it's kind of exciting for all of us moving forward. How do you know that your money is being used to do the most good? That's why there's a grant process so that people apply. They say how they're going to meet our most current needs in the community. And then we have reviewers, which are the people who are you guys. The community reviews these grants. They say if they feel the funds are being used in the best way. And they debate usually, how much money would it take to get that service need covered. And so that conversation is usually rich with people who understand some of the pressing needs in our community. Now, as you can imagine, COVID kind of juggled that bucket a little bit. So we will be interested to see the health department and St. Joseph Mercy Hospital are both doing a community needs assessment right now. So it'll be exciting to see if that's shifted some of the priorities or some of the needs in the community. And so that may shift some of the focus that we end up having in the next year. Part of that granting process is reporting. If anyone's ever received a grant, there's reporting that you have to you turn in, both financial as well as programmatic statistics. And then the other piece that we always share with people is that they ask, why don't we just donate directly to the agency, which is, always a good thing. I have my own group of, I don't know, they're usually like cancer and things like that, but, places that I fund and do money with every year. Those are important too, but the way that United Way works is that we are truly focused on the needs of that year. So our goal is truly to be getting at what is coming out of our own community at that time, which may not always be able to happen at local agencies. Next, we also have a number of programs at United Way that is covered. So Dave Caring, many of you know, because I know you've all donated in some way, shape, or form in your time. We have a resource fair that we do with the home show, 211, My Free Taxes, Livingston Council for Youth. I won't go through all these, but you can see there's a number of things that we also do that are offered to the community as part of our direct programming that we offer in our community. Now, how does Tour de Livingston play into that? Your money makes a huge difference. The money that you guys raise for Tour de Livingston is used as match funds. So it's actually doubled every year when you guys bring money into the United Way bucket on Matching Money Monday. That gets doubled. And so really over the years, in 13 years, you have really with leveraged value given over $718,000 to United Way and to your community. Really quite remarkable. I tried to update many of the numbers. In fact, I think I've got all of them except for one I had a hard time finding the source. So all of these numbers are what's being done this year. And as you can imagine, some of these programs really are still going. This is 2020 numbers and are still going despite, being in COVID times and maybe not be able to do things in the way that they would have done before. So like I draw attention to the upper right corner where is evictions. So we've been on an eviction hold. I don't even know if everyone knows that, but like an eviction hold in the state since COVID started, since April. So those 94 families were helped outside of the fact that many people may still come upon eviction because nobody's been allowed to evict anybody for almost a year. So these are numbers that will help you to see that as time goes on, those will even be more impressive next year when that really comes due and everybody's trying to cover all those, which I can tell you there's a lot of funds coming to help with that. The federal government is making sure that people aren't that we don't have a month of all evictions once that moratorium is over. But things like the upper left-hand corner, seniors helped with Meals on Wheels. That became more critical this year than ever before because more people needed support. More seniors weren't willing to go to the grocery store. So those are things that you'll see fluctuations that make sense related to COVID. Same with Summer Lunch Bunch, a wonderful program in the summer. They kicked open those sites in literally April. So instead of starting in June, end of June, July and August, they opened those sites so families that were home and may have been on free and reduced lunches had a place to come get a lunch. So I'm just drawing attention to some of the remarkable things that your funds do and how grateful we are for that support every year. It really does make a remarkable difference in our community. In addition, I wanted to share that you guys supported COVID and that COVID relief fund still has funds. We are still getting requests. And I'm going to be honest, I really thought those funds were going to be used for food and housing. That was what I thought we'd see. And what we saw was technology, people like Catholic Charities needing a way to do telehealth. They've never done that, had to do that before. So they needed some strategies and some support for that. We had a couple LESA families that had both parents were in the childcare or the healthcare world. And so all the childcare centers closed. And in order for them to take care of the rest of us, they needed some support for childcare. So really some unique needs that came out of that. And so we thank you for that. That support's been remarkable. And we have enjoyed telling people what a difference they made in those immediate needs, really being able to help people to switch over to getting services still, but in a unique new way. So that's the difference that you make every year. I can't tell you how grateful we are. I've only been here a year, but it's remarkable the difference that this group makes. I don't know if people know I'm a Sunrise Rotarian, so I'm with you. We're making a difference, but I'm extremely grateful for all that you guys do to help. Just wanted to thank you and see if anyone had any questions. Oh, and Jake's on. Okay, I think I'm out.
All right, Ann, thank you so much. My voice is on a different screen than my face here, so I think everyone can see us in two different places right now. My lips are probably not moving at the same time I'm talking, but just wanted to take a quick second and say thank you so much, Ann, for getting on and presenting. I unfortunately had to join the call a little bit late, so I only caught maybe the second half of that, but I love the slide with the bike and the spokes, and it shows all the different places that the money's gone to. That's absolutely fantastic. I have a little bit of a presentation to go through here. I am wondering if we can give control over to Janelle, who has my presentation.
She should have it.
Fantastic. There we are. Thank you very much for bringing it up, Janelle. And, thank you to those who contributed in the making of the slides here. Let's see, I don't know how to set it to manual, but if you could go back to that last slide that was there just a second ago.
I'm trying. Sorry, hold on.
No, you're fine. I gave it to you because I don't have the technical know-how to be able to do it correctly.
It's taking off. Hold on. I might have to stop share for a minute because my connection is also bad.
Okay, fair enough. I can actually just talk about a few things as we go here anyway. So thank you so much to the folks who have joined us in our wrap-up meeting today. I see some Jersey riders on here. I see some sponsors on here. Obviously a lot of Rotarians who were volunteers during the event and helping us create this event. So 2020 was an interesting year. In the past, we've always had a live in-person event, with many, many riders coming to Mount Brighton, where we've had the event. 2020 made a lot of that not possible. But we have a fantastic committee who had the ability to create a new event. We went virtual with Tour de Livingston last year. We were still able to, with events canceling all around us, we recognized that United Way had more need of sponsorship dollars than ever before. You just saw in Ann's slideshow where those dollars were going to, and those needs didn't go away with COVID and the pandemic. Probably more than ever, those needs were highlighted last year. So we, as Howell Rotarians and our Tour de Livingston committee, said, no, we aren't going to cancel our event. We're going to figure out a way to do this, and we did. We embraced a new theme: flattening out COVID-19. Stay safe and stay in motion. I absolutely love that. At the sign off of any email I replied to, or every committee meeting we had, we always reminded everyone to stay safe and stay in motion. I think that was so neat. We did choose a different date last year. We went September 4th through the 8th, whereas traditionally we've always been in October. And you'll see at the bottom of this slide here, this year's 14th annual Tour de Livingston is coming October 10th, 2021. So we are going back to our October date as usual. So last year we were able to donate $20,000 to the Livingston County United Way, and we use those funds as matching dollars on Matching Money Monday. So we, I won't go over it a second time, obviously, and just covered all that and showed how those dollars got leveraged and what they went to. It was absolutely fantastic. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors, all of our Jersey riders. I've got a couple more slides here where we're going to thank you a second time, but we can't thank you enough. Truly, the Ted and Jean Von Voigtlander Foundation coming in as our major sponsor, that was huge for our event. Absolutely fantastic that they were able to give and really, really helped us out in what we were able to donate to Livingston County United Way. Hometown Bicycles, always a great sponsor. First Impressions, marketing, everyone on this slide, huge supporters of the event. In our next slide down here, we've got First National Bank, the Bowen and Swan family, Cobb Hall Insurance, Ecto HR, Promotion, the Marketeer, and Livingston Post. I mean, all fantastic sponsors. We couldn't have done this without our sponsorship. And of course, our Jersey riders. So we had, how many was it? 15 of them in total, 15 Jersey riders raising collectively $8,000. I mean, that's huge. A huge portion of our dollars raised comes from our Jersey riders out there fundraising, whether it be on social media, asking for dollars when they're interacting with clientele, or, in Joel's instance, probably around school, I would think. But you guys rock. This event has been a long-standing tradition. This year, 2021, is going to be our 14th annual Tour de Livingston. And, we wouldn't have had 13 fantastic years of donations without our sponsors and without our Jersey riders. And heck, without our riders. If you would go on to the next slide there, thank you so much. So we had 43 standard registered riders this year. Not as many as in years past, but obviously we were changing things up. We changed the time of the event. Excuse me. We changed the format of the event. It was, again, an interesting year, but we are so happy and thankful for everyone who came out. I really think that the people that participated in the event enjoyed it. We had pictures posted online of folks completing their routes. We had virtual routes that were created just for people to go out and give them a shot. We said you can ride anywhere. You could be on your Peloton bike at home if you wanted and getting your miles in, as long as you wanted to participate in Tour de Livingston. So this was, we had people participating all over the place. It wasn't just in Brighton. It wasn't just in Livingston County last year. We had folks who were, up northern Michigan on their vacations and participated in the ride because they had their bikes with them. We had people out of state who participated. It was, there were new opportunities afforded last year, and we thought that was excellent. So out of our 43 registered riders, we did give the opportunity to donate additional dollars. We raised another $485 just in donations with those registered riders. We also had some hosted routes. I think it was Neil was the only one doing them last year, but we're kind of taking that and running with it this year. If you wouldn't mind moving on to the last slide, Janelle. So this year, 2021, our event date for Tour to Livingston is going to be October 10th. So we are going to go back to having our kickoff ride this year, and that's going to happen during Balloon Fest. So much like we did last year, much like Neil did last year with his hosted rides and times, we're going to kind of have a blended event where we aren't entirely virtual, but it's not going to be necessarily to the scale that we had it in the past, with 400, 500 riders going off all at one time. The plan this year is to have routes assigned and individual rides taking off with a team leader. So instead of having to watch the marks on the road and try to make sure you get all your turns right, there's going to be a team leader supporting the ride who's going to lead you through a scenic route through Livingston County. We're also going to be changing up the routes a bit. We've been in talks with Howell Public Schools about utilizing the school areas as kind of a staging grounds for us as a takeoff site and, for parking and all that. We're going to go back to having our hospitality stations, our SAG support. It's going to look and feel a lot like our event used to, prior to the pandemic in 2020. But we're still utilizing some of the new tools and, systems we've created in 2020 because we've figured out some efficiencies. We've figured out some ways to make this event better. And, if we talk about 2020 being a heck of a year and, though there were a lot of negatives that came from it, we, as Rotarians, we were forced to pivot and transition, and we really discovered some fantastic efficiencies that are going to improve our event going forward. So everyone, mark your calendars for October 10th, 2021. That Sunday is going to be our tour to Livingston, and we look forward to, reaching out to our riders, our Jersey riders, our sponsors. We look forward to having another fantastic year in 2021. And hopefully providing some good dollars to Livingston County United Way. So thank you very much, everyone who's here, everyone who took a look at our slides, who's given in the past, who's ridden in the past, who's volunteered. Just know we're going to be reaching out to you again this year. So who has questions? Who wants to continue talking about this? I love this event. So feel free to just, open up your mic, chime in. Even if somebody has a comment or something they wanted to share. I know we have some of our fantastic Jersey riders on who have been with us multiple years.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Andrea.
Hi, great job to you, Jake. I'm super impressed and proud of you just rolling with things and figuring it out. And then thanks to Neil and Joel and everybody else that always jumps in. I'm super proud of all our Rotarians and the next generation taking it forward. So good job.
We have an awesome
way
team.
to be in a good mood about it too.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll chime in on that one. I think it's an incredible program that we had today to just kind of bring it all together, and let's do it again.
Yes, sir.
Of course. Well, I think Sandy has. Oh, go ahead, George. Mr. Moses, go ahead.
Okay, I've got a comment. Last year was such a dismal year with all this COVID and everybody sheltering. And I wasn't even going to ride. I thought, well, this thing can't even go off. And then I got this email from you that it's going to be virtual. And I says, well, that doesn't sound too good. But I'll tell you what got me moving was Jamie Nicholson, who was I don't know if she was a Jersey rider, but she was riding with us. She's the incoming president of the Sunrise Club this year. And she called me up and said, hey, let's just get a team together and ride. So I thought, okay, all right. So I got in motion and called all my donors. And it was kind of a last minute thing, but I still raised over $2,000 from the people that I sent out emails to and called. And we did Jamie and me and George and Lori Watts. We rode together. We did a 35-mile route that we planned out ourselves. We left at Horning School at 8 o'clock Sunday morning, and we rode out to Island Lake and Kensington and did both parks and back to the starting point. It came out to about exactly 35 miles. it was about 4 hours it took us. So I'm really glad Jamie got me off my butt, because I wouldn't have done it without her urging. So I think she's going to be a great president this year. She's got lots of energy. And the other thing I'd like to comment on, this Howell Club, when I looked at all of you people talking about your happy things, I was marveling at what a youthful group you are now. I mean, I've been coming to this club for years, back, decades, in fact, and it's grown into a young, active, energetic club, and it's just great to see. A lot of
Thanks
clubs
so
are going
much,
the other
George.
direction. So
It's mostly Joel, but that's okay.
yeah, you're
Just
doing
kidding.
you're all doing a great job, and I love your attitude.
Well, thank you so much. And we love Jamie too, but I think Jamie is emblematic of anyone who can just start the ball rolling. I love that. I love that Jake's done so much for this event. And I love that people just decide last minute, we're going to make something happen, and we can leverage that funds to do a lot of good in our community through the United Way. So I know that Sandy has some things that she needs to present at this time. Sandy?
Yes, thank you, Heather. Again, ditto what George said and what Andrea said. We want to thank you, Jake, for your leadership during this time. I'm extremely proud of you as well. None of us knew what we were dealing with when we went into this, and you persevered and you led us through, and you did a fantastic job. And I look forward to working with you in the next year, but we just want to thank you, and also Janelle. I know Janelle was also presented. She was a co-chair with you, and she was presented also with crazy things, and maybe wasn't there as much as she had intended when she agreed to it, but I know she was there for you in support. And so we just want to present something to both of you guys. So Jake and Janelle, we have a wonderful, beautiful jersey here for you guys. So Jake, you'll be able to wear this jersey, and Janelle, we want you to wear this jersey when you're on the bicycle and with your little guy there. So you can get him trained up, and then you guys can both be riding. So I see you there now. So this is from the committee, or from Howell Rotary, to both of you guys, and thanking you for your leadership and helping us make it happen. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy. I'm just going to say a couple quick words. We have an awesome committee. Our stay safe and stay in motion mindset was felt throughout. We had amazing people stepping up, day before the event, even doing crazy things. And we didn't know where this was going to go last year. When we said, hey, we're going to pivot, we're going to go virtual, I had thought that was going to be easy. I had thought that it was, just sending out an email to our people, our riders, our sponsors. It was not. We had to recreate an event from the ground up, it felt like. And we had so many amazing people stepping up to help out that, we're just a great team. It goes to show what we as Howell Rotarians, I should say. Sorry, we have a lot of non-Howell Rotarians on the call too. And all of our supporters can achieve. It was a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. I just want to say that Jake just did a tremendous job with this. I was probably the absolute worst co-chair that he probably could have had. I really don't deserve the jersey thing either, but it's awesome, so I'll take it. But no, it was Jake and this committee did a fabulous job, and I appreciate all of the hard work that they put into this to make this happen. So thank you.
Well, thank you everyone so much. I just want to say I am super excited to have a wonderful kickoff for our next year's Tour de Livingston. There's so many awesome things already in the works, and it is going to be an amazing in-person event. And let me just say with high hopes that we will be back at the Opera House or somewhere similar next December, and we can have a wonderful recognition event at that time with crowded tables full of friends and people in the community. It's exciting to look forward. And I think sometimes these bumps in the road are exactly what we need to stop taking things for granted and to be more appreciative of what we had and what we will have again in the future. So I'm super excited about that. Does anybody else have any closing remarks that they want to share?
I do have one last quick plug here, Heather.
Go ahead, Jake.
To all the Jersey riders on the call, if you haven't done so yet, we do have a certificate of appreciation that's been created for you, and it's available at Hometown Bicycles for pickup. We would love if when you pick that up, you could send over, take a picture and send it to me, whether it's email or phone number. I think everyone there has my phone number or email. If not, I can get it over there. But and then the sponsors, I would love to schedule a time with you when I can go personally present the certificate and make sure you're dressed for photo day. Because we're planning on taking a picture as we present it, just so we can recognize how wonderful you've all been through our social media outlets and in future rides to come. Thank you.
That is a great idea, Jake, and I think that that's going to be awesome for everyone. Anybody else?
Yeah, just to echo what Jake was saying about the certificates, I should probably let everyone know. Hometowns had some weird hours with COVID and stuff, but as of April 1st, we decided this last night at the store meeting, the shop will be open Thursday, Friday, and Monday from 10 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5. It'll be closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, at least for the rest of this year. So if you're letting people know about their certificates, that will be the hours starting April 1st.
Thank you so much. That is important, especially Tuesdays and Thursdays. Someone shows up and they're like, what happened to Hometown? That's good to know. And they need a weekend too, but you know, you have to work on the weekends when you have a bicycle shop. So that's wonderful. Any other announcements?